Good morning, folks. Hi, Phil McPhail again here with United Country Lifestyle Properties of Maine. And today we're going to try something a little different. I'm over in the western mountains of Maine, and we're going to take a look today at a off-grid cabin on 26 acres of land, back in the woods, just far enough for all the privacy you could want, but close enough to the highway where there's neighbors here that will actually plow your driveway for you in the wintertime. So stick around. We're going to take a look at this cabin, the exterior, the interior, and we're going to show you some of the land here. It's a beautiful piece of timberland, 26 acres, and the best part is we get direct access to a groomed snowmobile trail. And like I said, keep this open in the winter, come up here on the weekends. What a great place to get away from the world. Before we get into the camp, don't forget, like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Put on that notification bell. Make sure you put on all notifications. You won't miss the next one. So let's talk about the location here in New Portland, Maine. And New Portland, don't confuse that with Portland, Maine. We're nowhere near Portland, Maine. This town is a small town, less than 800 people population, and the only thing it's probably known for, especially if you've traveled through this area, is its wire bridge. It's got a cable suspension bridge that was built in the 1800s, and we believe it's the last of its kind, probably in the United States. And if you happen to know of a cable bridge similar to this one, let us know in the comments below. From our location here on Colegrove Road in the town of New Portland, the first conveniences you're going to find in the area are going to be in Kingfield, which is about 8 miles from this location. You go over there and you'll find a grocery store and shops and things. If you need more services than you can find in the town of Kingfield, Farmington is about 16 miles from this location. That will be your nearest hospital. There's a University of Maine, Farmington there. Lots of places to shop, a cool little town. 28 miles from here, we're actually in Somerset County, is the town of Skowhegan. If you're riding up through here and your GPS is calling it Skowhegan, it's Skowhegan, just so you know. County seat of Somerset County, and that's, like I said, about 28 miles from here. A little bit further from here, we're 50 miles from the state capital of Augusta, Maine. That's where all our politicians are down there arguing all the time. Beyond that, we're about a 2-hour drive to the city of Portland, Maine, and that is Maine's largest city down in Cumberland County. The city of Boston is about 196 miles from here, and that's 3 hours and 30 minutes city to the doorstep of this camp. Okay, folks, we're over here. We're going to look around the outside the cabin. I'm going to show you a few key features that you may not see on maps or whatnot. We do have a portable ice house, which is now doubling as a woodshed. They're using it as a woodshed. If you're up here in the winter and you're a nice fisherman, build yourself a woodshed, haul this thing to your nearest lake, and there's some really nice lakes in this area. Over here on the southwest side of the cabin, we've got a drilled well, which you won't often find in these off-grid situations, but this one's quite nice. It is plumbed into the cabin. Now from here, we're going to check this out a little later. After we look at the cabin, we're going to walk a couple of the trails. There's some pretty forest here, a couple of trails through the property, plus the main snowmobile trail running along the edge of the boundary. So over here on this side of the camp, they've done some recent excavation, cleaning this up a little bit. It'd be a nice time to throw some grass down. We're here in the middle of May. Maybe I can get them to throw some grass seed next time they're here. Right over here, we've got a holding tank for septic. There's no leach field. It looks plenty dry enough here. I'm sure you could have a full system put in. 1,000-gallon concrete tank they've reported here in the ground. Right here it's been dug out. They just had it pumped out. Put your leach field in, you're good to go. Let's go around the other side of the cabin. We saw that nice big rock fireplace I was sitting on when we first got here. That's right here in front of this porch. We've got an 8 by roughly, I think this is 24 feet porch, all screened in. So if the bugs are bad, and they're starting to get that way in May, and if you don't like bugs, why are you watching this channel? I see a t-shirt the other day on Maine Cabin Masters that one of the crew was wearing. It said black flies. What was it? Defenders of the wilderness. I like that. That's a good way to put it. So let's go on in and check out this porch. All right, coming in the screen door here onto this porch. This porch is actually 6 feet by 24 feet. It's the whole width of the camp. As you can see, nice dry place to sit on a rainy day. Sit in here quietly out of the bugs on a buggy day. If you're up here in May and June like we are now, it's a typical bug season. Walking into the cabin. And what we have here is a 24-foot square cabin with a loft in the back. We've got a bathroom set up. We'll show you bedroom over here, and then this big open living area. Got a really nice glass front wood stove. That thing is big enough to drive you out of here. I would say if you have never used a wood stove, don't fill this thing up first time you use it. You will be outside because you won't be able to stand the heat. We do have a sink. You're going to notice when you're here under the building, this is not hooked up. It's draining on the ground. So the gray water currently not going into the septic tank, just so you know. That is not a code thing. You probably should hook it to the septic at some point if you can use it a lot. But, you know, we've been doing this for a long time, folks, and a little bit of soap water out on the ground probably not going to hurt too much. We're a long ways from the brook. We got a LP gas stove here. Then everything in here is finished with knotty pine. We have shiplap, actually kind of board and batten. There we go. Board and batten on the ceiling. Looks quite nice. Over here, we've got the bathroom. There's a pressure tank that comes in from the well right here. You have to plug in the pump when you want to use it. This shower is not hooked up, so don't come in here and dump water over your head. It'll be running across the floor. The toilet is hooked up. It does go into the septic tank, which they've just had pumped, and they will pump it. They do pump it often when they need to. Here we have an on-demand water heater, tankless water heater, really nice, runs off LP gas as well. And then as we come around, we'll take a look up in the loft. So there's a pretty good steep set of stairs here. You get up there and you can see we've got room for a couple of beds for extra company. Coming around this corner, this is all laminate floor here, by the way, folks. And right here we have a direct vent Empire gas heater. Very efficient system. I've seen these in 100 camps over the years. There is a Starlink dish here that's inside right now. They put it out when they're here. That will be your internet connection, which is really good. I've got one myself. It works great. Pretty much you're going to see this place as it is. This is how it's coming. And in here we've got the one bedroom down, and it's got 4 bunks in it. So easily sleep 4 in here, 2 more, maybe even 4 more upstairs. You can put 6 to 8 people in this camp pretty comfortably. What else can I tell you? Electric panel. As you came in the door, I'm gonna run over the camera and don't run in the wood stove. We've got the entrance panel here behind the television set. So if you're in here looking with another agent, not me, you'll see that's where it is. Stovepipe goes up through the roof. The roof on the cabin is metal. The exterior is all natural painted wood. In case we missed it, there is a small electric refrigerator in this cabin that will run off the generator. The Honda over here is a EU 2200, pretty quiet little generator that runs the lights, the refrigerator, well pump. That's going to convey with the property. And you can see they've got it set up with the plumbing inside so they can come here in the winter, drain the system down when they leave, and use it for snowmobiling, skiing, snowshoeing, like going up to the mountain to ski, whatever you want to do. So that's here. That conveys. I didn't show you outside. We'll show you in the B-roll. The cabin sits on concrete posts set in the ground, sonotubes, I think we call them. That's all the way around, so it's up off the ground, pretty sturdy. You know, little bit of movement in here, but it's a pretty well-built camp, nicely finished on the interior. Okay, let's go for a walk, folks, and check out some of the features of this 26 acres. We got a nice long driveway coming in with lots of privacy. They do have it gated on the other end. We'll show you that in the roll here. Over me talking, you don't need to look at the back of my head all day. But there's a trail right here that goes out through the woods, and we're going to take you in here a little bit and show you how pretty this section of forest is. We're back here off this trail now that's about, we're probably 300 feet or so from the cabin. And what you're going to see here is kind of a mixed growth of wood. We got some spruce and balsam fir in here mixed in with some maple. Beautifully, naturally groomed almost. There's almost no underbrush. There are some blown down balsam fir, which balsam fir has a tendency to do. But what a nice looking forest in here. A lot of stuff growing, starting to grow in the understory in places, but if you wanted to keep this open, mowed, the ground's pretty level. You know, it almost looks like this might have been a farm here at one time. The ground's really good, and I did find some stone walls, so there was some sort of agriculture going on here probably 100 or more years ago. I'm going to walk you down the trail a little further, show you where I think the boundary is. I did find some evidence of a spotted line there. And again, as you have probably heard me say many times before, I am not a surveyor. I can't guarantee any of these pins or lines are in the exact location. So if you're really concerned about it, you should have a surveyor at least do some preliminary work, unless you're not uncomfortable with it. A lot of times stuff does make sense, and we do have the benefit of a survey of a portion of this property that was done years ago, and I do have a copy of that, and if you'd like to see it, I'd be happy to email it to you. Now I'm down here on the southern part of the property, and like I said, there's some old evidence here, an old blaze. If you don't know what that is, that's where the surveyor will actually scar the tree so that it will hold paint. It is painted yellow. I can see the paint continuing up through the woods this way, and there's more painted line going this way. Pretty good evidence of a boundary. I'm feeling pretty comfortable that this is close, according to the survey that we have. The trail kind of peters out here. There is a small creek just beyond the boundary, and we're going to show you next at least one, or actually a couple of water features on this property. There's a very small mountain creek that runs across it, and then at the far end of the property, which would be, I guess that would be the east end, there is another, there's a beautiful meadow across the way with a beaver pond. It's not on the property, but you can see it from the property, and then the outlet of that beaver pond actually runs across the extreme east end of this lot. So we're going to check that out next. All right, while we're walking over to check out this stream, I might as well tell you a little bit about this area. If you've never been skiing, 24 miles away from here, Sugarloaf Mountain, Maine's largest ski mountain, pretty well known throughout New England, actually probably all over the country. Beautiful near Mile High Mountain. Some incredible skiing trails there and events going on all winter and the summer. There's a beautiful golf course over at Sugarloaf that you could go play if you're over here and you get tired of sitting in the woods listening to the birds saying you maybe want to go over and play a round of golf. Beautiful course over there. What else? 17 miles from here, boat landing in Solon on the Kennebec River, and I can tell you I fished that section of the river. They have a little bit of everything swimming in that water. Brook trout, landlocked salmon, rainbow trout, and some brown trout actually, some large ones occasionally in that section of the Kennebec. Kennebec, you travel a little further up 201, and you can be up in the Whitewater section in the Forks where the Dead River comes in. Beautiful part of Maine. If you've never been there, check that out. Come up and do a whitewater rafting trip. You won't regret it if you're an adrenaline junkie. And let's see, what else? The Bigelow Preserve, 27 miles just beyond Sugarloaf Mountain, the Carrabassett Valley, is a big mountain range where the Appalachian Trail cuts across Route 201. Beautiful area there. You can, that's not 201 actually, but I can't remember the name of the road that number is, 27 maybe? Anyhow, Bigelow Preserve, beautiful mountain range, great hiking on the Appalachian. We're just west of the 100-mile wood section. If you're familiar with the trail, that's where we're located here in New Portland. All right, we're back over here from the trail that leads to the southern line, and we're over here in front of the cabin. This is the lawn right here of the cabin. And over here is our groomed snowmobile trail. Well, it's groomed in the wintertime. Right now, it's just a grassy trail. It's an old discontinued town road that runs in right into New Portland. And then as we come down this hill, you're going to see a bridge off in the distance, and that's the first creek. So we'll stop down there and show that to you. We're down here on the snowmobile bridge now that crosses this little creek. I've looked on the map, so this creek doesn't show, but it's got a very defined creek bed, and I'm actually looking at what look to be probably a dace of some sort. I can see a pretty good lateral line there. It might be black-nosed dace swimming around. So I'm guessing this stream runs all year round, or pretty close to it, long enough to keep those fish alive. So from here, we're gonna keep walking down, and I'm gonna show you the next body of water that's on the other side and a creek on this side. So now we're down here near the east end of the property, right on the edge of the snowmobile trail, and you can see across the way here, there's a pretty large beaver pond and wetland. And if you look really close, way off in the distance, and I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it, but there's a white-tailed deer standing there eating in the middle of that meadow on the backside of the pond. I have seen a lot of deer sign in here, so this is a good-looking spot. Normally, I wouldn't consider a 26-acre site to be a great hunting property. However, The area that we're in with the access to water, different ages of growth on this property, pretty good soils. Looks like you could get a food plot in here really easily. I think this could be an excellent place for a hunting property. And now we've arrived at the south, will actually be the kind of the northeast corner of the property. You can see it's flagged up. There's an orange post you can see back there in the background. Okay, we're over here towards the center of the property now, and I just brought you over here. This is nothing real sexy here, folks, but obviously it's been a good hunting location. We're right here where the land contours off. This is where, whenever they were farming this, they dropped their rocks off the hill. You can see boulders and a rock wall running off behind me. The land drops about 15 or 20 feet down to the creek bed, and this is just a serious game trail. They're following that creek bed and this elevation drop right on the edge of that. This is a piece of staging. Obviously needs a new roof. This roof completely shot, caved in, fallen down. So don't, in the comments, I can't wait to hear what they say. Anyhow, put a new roof on it. Maybe put some burlap around it to screen you. And what a kind of a cool deer blind this could be, and that's what it has been in the past. So I wanted to show you that. All right, we're over here on the right side of the driveway as we come into the cabin, and we got two 20-foot shipping containers that will stay with the property. This one actually has a John Deere 420. The owners think it's probably 25 years old, maybe a little older than that. It's in great condition. I don't have a key to this padlock, so I'm not going to show it to you today. You're not watching this channel to buy tractors, but if you come up here, by the time you get here, see this video, I should have a key to that lock. Be happy to show you the tractor. It does have a bucket and a mowing deck. They use it to take care of the property and the trails. And then the second shipping container for some extra storage, and put your four-wheeler in there, maybe leave your snowmobiles, whatever. Nice little setup for storage. I know a lot of you like to come up here to Maine to do a little shooting, because probably where you live, they don't let you do that. This property does have a nice dirt berm here that the sellers have put in so they can shoot their handguns here and not have any problems with bullets flying through the woods to the neighbors somewhere down the road. So that's a nice little feature right here in the front yard of this cabin at Colegrove Road. Thank you, folks, for coming along on the tour of 153 Colegrove Road here in the town of New Portland, Maine. Let's wrap this up with all the terms of this property sale. The asking price on this cabin with 26 acres is $220,000. The taxes are just under $1,200 per year. Very affordable. We've got trails, we've got hunting opportunities, we've got snowmobile trail access, close to a lot of conveniences and some really spectacular outdoor recreation areas such as Sugarloaf, the Kennebec River, and the Appalachian Trail. I don't know what more you could want, folks. Give me a call, 800-286-6164. Come on up, let's take a look at 153 Colegrove Road in New Portland together.